This episode is not sponsored by Angel Studio. They are not paying me. I'm just using them as an example of a faith-based company that is doing an amazing work in the entertainment industry. And especially knowing that we are living in a time where the battle for our souls, is being fought in the entertainment industry by the things that we are watching, the things that we are listening to, the things that we are entertaining ourselves with. Those are gateways to our spirit, to our souls. And the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Companies like Netflix, they may offer a lot of entertainment, a lot of them, but those entertainment, those things that they are entertaining us with are not necessarily feeding our souls. Much of the things that they are sharing actually are weakening our faith or are awakening certain things or is some sort of spirit of rebellion. Almost every movie that we watch today, there are, sex scenes or things that are bizarre, that are not literally strengthening our souls. And most of it are normalizing sin. You watch a certain type of show, in every single show, people need to kiss, to make out, and all these dirty things. And that's where things like Angel Studio, Pure Flick comes in. And as Christians, we have to be intentional about the things that we are entertaining ourselves with. Because the likes of Pure Flicks or Angel Studio, they are not just entertaining us, they are edifying us, because the things that we are watching are based on the scriptures and they contain the values that we hold dear to our lives. And those are things that we need to intentionally feed ourselves with. I'm not against entertaining yourself with something that has maybe nothing to do with the Bible and just normal life, yes, but not something that goes against the scriptures. And you have a lot of that in things like Netflix, Disney, and all that stuff. And I'm not attacking them. I myself sometimes watch Netflix. I myself sometimes watch Disney. But today I just want this to be a wake-up call for all of us Christians, that sometime now we need to get into a place where we become so intentional about that and we support those faith-based industry which are doing an amazing work. And today I want to share with us 3 strong reasons why we must stand together with those studios, Angel Studio, Pure Flicks, by subscribing, by sharing, by investing, by whichever way you can support them. And I'm going to give you 3 important reasons today. And the first reason is because content is spiritual and we need to guard our gate. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 22 to verse 23, Jesus said, the eye is the lamp of the body. The eye is the lamp of the body. Whatever you are watching, you are either filling your soul, your body, your inner self. You are either filling it with light or with darkness. And we need to understand something is that screens are not neutral. Screens are literally sometimes like altars. When we are watching something, we are feeding our souls with the content that we are watching. It's going in our subconscious, creating certain things that we ourselves sometimes are not aware of. So we need to understand that content is spiritual and we need to be intentional about what we're watching. When you are only watching things that Netflix produces. I'm not against Netflix because they have also faith-based content, which is incredible. But much of their content is not faith-based. And you might find something that is really appealing to you, but when you're watching it, it's actually arousing something negative inside of you, thrilling your flesh and, awakening certain things that you didn't want to, or maybe a behavior that you're fighting. But when you watch a movie, you watch a show, it awakens that. But when you are given or you subscribe to things like Angel Studio, Pure Flick. For example, Angel Studio, they are the one who produced, I think, The Chosen, the amazing series about the life of Jesus. An amazing one. You guys need to watch it. And also another beautiful movie that I watched, I think in 2024, is Sound of Freedom. Guys, If you haven't watched that movie, I'm literally questioning your faith. I'm kidding, but seriously, I'm questioning your faith if you haven't watched that movie. It's an incredible movie. What I want you to understand is that what Angel Studio or Pureflix are doing, not like every show is a story from the Bible. Like every show is like the book of Esther and the book of like Chronicles and stuff. No, they have everyday likes movies or shows, but that contains faith-based values, Christian values. So you can watch a good movie, a good show, a good series, but those series, shows, movies contain Christian values. This is the reason why we need to support such company, because they are promoting content that actually glorify Jesus. And this is an important thing to do. But the second reason why I want us to support such companies or industry is because Christian contents help build strong family. And I'm going to start by saying that family is God's first ministry. And the enemy knows it. The enemy knows it. I want you to listen to me. The enemy knows that family is God's first ministry. If he can corrupt the family, he can corrupt the future. And one such way that he can corrupt is by the things that we are watching. I'm not a parent yet, but I believe that we must be intentional about what we set as rules in the house that kids should watch. I remember growing up, my parent would love us to watch only specific shows. It's true that we're actually very rebellious, and yeah, we never aligned ourselves, because the thing is, we had options to choose a variety of so many shows. So even if my parent told me that not to watch this, once they are not there, I'm going to watch it because it's available to me. It's available to me. If we have Netflix, we have all that. Even if my parents say we're only going to watch Christian things, when they are not there, I'm not going to watch only that. And this is extremely important. Extremely important. What kids, for example, watch today will shape what they believe tomorrow. And that's completely true. So we must be intentional. I mean, I'm not parent. I don't know why we say we, but as parent must be intentional about the kind of things they allow their kids to watch. So if you have a subscription like Angel Studio or Pureflix, I mean, your kids will only have that as option. They won't have any other option. And it will shape their understanding of things based on Christian values. Because we need to understand that shows, series, or movies, they are not just stories. They are also teachers. What we watch teach us. And this is extremely important that we need to understand that. So when we give ourselves to, or we give kids content that are faith-based and that contain Christian values, what we are doing is that we are strengthening their spiritual DNA. We are strengthening their Christian or spiritual DNA to only reflect the life of Jesus. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. What entertains your children trains your children. And this is a reality. What entertains your children trains your children. So if we want the next generation to grow with Christian values, we need to be careful with the things that entertain them. We need to be careful with that. So we don't have to let shows that normalize sins or companies or things that normalize sins to gain an ascendancy over Christians or faith-based company that promotes the values that we want to see our kids reflect. We want to see our kids reflect. So this is something very important. So we need to feed our homes with stories that build faith, not those that break values. You can't let your 5-year-old kid watch shows that promote LGBTQ plus values. You just can't do that. Just can't do that. So we need to be very intentional about that. And the third and last reason why we need to support such shows is because kingdom culture needs kingdom support. Galatians chapter 6 verse 10 says, do good, especially to those of the household of faith. We need to understand something. The world found its darkness. Believers must find the light. The reason why I'm saying this is you will see Hollywood and all those, secular company invest so much into what they're doing. Why? Because they are pushing an agenda. They are pushing an agenda. Hollywood has money because sinners invest in it. They invest in it because they are pushing an agenda. So we need also as Christians to invest into faith-based company that are pushing a kingdom agenda to move the kingdom forward so that we have a generation of people who grow up with Christian values. And there's something that's on my note that I want to read is that every subscription is a seed. Every share is a sermon. And every view is a victory for the gospel. And we want, as believers, to become media missionaries. We want to take back the screens for Jesus. So we need to support them. We need to choose wisely the type of things that we're watching, And to close, I just want to remind us what I said in the beginning about Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. To guard our heart with diligence. And this comes with the things that we allow ourselves to watch continually. So give it a try. Go and subscribe to PureFlix. Go and subscribe to Android Studio and every other, I think, Christian things that I will post in the description below. And you will be blessed because your screen time is your seed time. What you are actually watching, you are actually sowing into your soul. So it's very important that we choose light, that we choose truth, and that we always choose Jesus. That's all I had for you today. Don't forget to like this, to subscribe, and to share this with someone. I'm going to see you again next time for another episode. God bless you. Bye-bye.